Oh, what's going on, guys? Back on analysis, and as you all probably know, I've been doing a lot of series about basketball, and I've had top 10 players of that team of all time. I've also had top 10 players of that position. I've also had analysis of teams that are just off this. I've also had other series that are just basketball, like shooting around, but I'm talking about just like these series. And for today, we have the top 10 Los Angeles Lakers players of all time, and I feel like this is probably going to be like the most best top 10 team players of all time, because as you all know, the Los Angeles Lakers actually have a lot of top 10 players just of all time, in the whole wide league. Like, there's so many good players on this franchise. It probably would have the best roster if they put them all into one team. So yeah, and let's get it started. So at number 10, I had Bob McAdoo. I put him here because he only played like 5 years with the Lakers. I feel like maybe even not. I feel like, but he only played like 5 years. But that's not enough because the player ahead of him played more. I do think Bob McAdoo is better than the player ahead of him. Just Bob McAdoo didn't play as well as this player ahead of him did when they were on the Los Angeles Lakers. So I gave it to Bob McAdoo at number 10. And the person ahead of him is James Worthy. A lot of people would say that he is worthy of this position, no pun intended, but I gave him over Bob McAdoo because I feel like he was just more of a better player on the Lakers when he played for that team than Bob McAdoo was. Starting out at number 7, I have Elgin. Number eight, my bad. I have Elgin Baylor, R.I.P. He died on March 22nd, and yeah, he was a really good player. He actually has the second all-time most points in a playoff game with 60 points. Really good player. He was a really good scorer, and I had him number 8 for all-time players of Lakers. Number 7, I have to give to Jerry West, the logo, the man himself. I gave it to Jerry West because this guy averaged like 27 points, and he won one ring. And uh, this is what the one ring that he won actually actually put him over Elgin Baylor for me, because Elgin Baylor and Jerry West are like very similar players in the stats that they averaged, but Jerry West won a championship, and championships are a lot. To win a championship, that's like a very big accomplishment in the NBA. So I gave it to him at number 7, and then at number 6, I gave it to Shaquille O'Neal. Yes, Jerry West did have better stats than Shaquille O'Neal, but Shaquille O'Neal won 3 championships to Jerry West's 1, so I gave it to Shaquille O'Neal there. And he was just a really dominant and good player anyway. And at number 5, I gave it to Magic Johnson. I took Magic Johnson over Shaquille O'Neal because of just pure talent and how good he was. And I believe he might have won more championships. I don't know for sure. Yeah, he did. He won 5. So yeah, I'm giving it to him. And then number 4, I have Wilt Chamberlain, absolute beast. I feel like he could be a better player if he knew like what he did back then, because he played like 1970s, 1960s, and they just didn't keep track of all the stats back then. And he could have averaged like 8 blocks. They didn't keep track of blocks back then, so it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I gave him number 4. Really good player, scored 100 points. And yeah, number 3, I gave it to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all-time points leader, and a really good player. Kind of like made this guy like a really popular, like really, like he revolutionized that move. Really good player, and yeah, number 2, I gave it to Kobe Bryant. Now this might be a little like bias or like controversial, but Kobe Bryant was one of my favorite players of all time, and I put him here because he just had that killer instinct. He won 5 championships. You can see that, he had Shaq, and Shaq was a better player on that team, but I think Kobe Bryant was a better player. He had that killer instinct. He had that clutch gene like nobody else except for like maybe like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are probably the 2 most clutch players of all time. And yeah, he was a really good player. And then I didn't put him number 1 because the player ahead of him, I feel like, didn't do that much for the. Doesn't really. I mean, I guess Kobe Bryant should be number 1, but I put this player ahead of him number 1 because he won a championship like the second year he was on the team, and I feel like he could win a few more by the time end of his career. And number one, I gave it to LeBron James. Very good player. He's won 4 championships, might win more, and he's a really good player. And that's my top 10 list for top 10 Los Angeles Lakers players of all time. Again, there's a lot more Los Angeles Lakers players, and you could honestly have some players over like any. You could have some players in this on this list that I don't even have on here. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. And we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, bye.